Hey, it's Damon, Crazy Logics 007 on YouTube, Crazy Logics in the forums. Uh, if you are seeing this video and it came and there hasn't been a video for a while, that means whatever I do to this, we fix it here real quick. Still working on moving. We got the other house. Tons and tons of work we're doing over there. I'm wore out. I just haven't had time to sit down and record videos or edit any of the videos that I have previously recorded because they all need editing. That, and on top of it all, my 5.4 liter 3-valve motor in my old pickup decided it was time for the phase and the cam phasers and the timing chains and everything to get changed, and have to do it now kind of thing. Can't drive it another inch without doing it. So I have been super busy. So anyway, buddy of mine got this Lego. Looks like it's been out in the sun or something, or in a smoker's house, because part of it's yellowed. I'm not sure. You're seeing a lot of glare from my light. But anyway, he'd taken it apart, so when we take this cover off, screws are going to fall out. There's the screws. And it's not working. He just was like, "Hey, dude, can you pull it apart? Give it a see if it's fixable." And so, okay, it's got some corrosion where the batteries were, so we probably got some battery leakage, and he's taken the 4 screws out here, here, and here. So, this is supposed to come off. It's supposed to light these up and I think make noises because it's got LEDs there. And oh yeah, we have, so can you see that? That should be shiny copper, and that's all green. There's a whole bunch of corrosion stuff here, so a battery may have leaked on here. Got it all nasty. Looks like green stuff from the battery. So very first thing, okay, so we cannot use acetone on cleaning this anywhere around this plastic. This is ABS plastic. That's what Legos are made out of. And it will just soften it up and destroy it. So we're going to use the isopropyl alcohol. I keep it in a squirt bottle with a squirt lid on it because sometimes I have to bathe the whole board. But we're going to look here. There is some nasty goo right where the speaker was. That got all cleaned up. Got that all cleaned up. Now these pads here have got junk all over them. Somebody may have spilt some water down in here too. You never know, or something worse. I think he got this, I'll bet, in a collection of used Legos. He's like me. One of the few things, basically the only thing I kept from being a kid was my Legos, and I still enjoyed when my kids were younger, sitting down and playing Legos with my kids. You know, that was just cool and fun, and we still have all our Legos, and heck, we'll still sit down and play Legos now if the kids want to, and they're big. It's just Legos are fun. You can be creative. You can do all kinds of stuff. I got a bunch of the robotics stuff too. Imagine that. I'm a nerd, and so I would have robotics junk. I don't know how much of that's going to clean up. It's ate away some of the conformal coating. I don't know if you can see if this thing will adjust. Maybe if I get the other camera. So you can see all that corrosion. See it all over there on the speaker, all on those contacts, all over that board. This right here is going to be the brain chip underneath there. So everything's going to do. So if we can get everything cleaned up, it might still work. It may just have never been able to make contact. So we're going to scrub on this little one. They have to get the it's losing conformal coating fast. That when a battery leaks on stuff, man, it does some damage. This video will go up, like I said, if I don't have to do any editing, if we can fix this pretty quick, or if I have to do such minimal editing that I can get it to process real fast. I just haven't had time, and I won't have for the next month or so, so I'm going to try to sit down and edit at least one of the videos for the Scar and for the Rockford that I've already got out there. Oh no, just kind of popped that in when I did that. Let's see if we can fix that. And that right there. Oh, that is bad. I don't know if they've glued that in place or if it's just stuck from the corrosion. This may be tougher than I thought. So, hope everybody's having a good time. Man, I tell you what, I've been away from my workbench for like 2 weeks working on this stuff, and went to clean off my workbench so I could shoot this video real quick, and spider webs everywhere, dead bugs everywhere. It's just like my workbench was taken over. Holy canoodles. You're gone for a minute and nature just reclaims everything. Let's hope that little speaker's going to still work. It's got a lot of corrosion around it. That comes up. This comes up. I think if I bend these back a little, oh, put a little locking tabs on these. They may have been pressed through and then pressed in. You see there's already junk. There's junk coming off from bugs. That cleaned up kind of nice. So this is the ground, and that's right there, and then that, if we peek down in here, this white wire right here, are all those white wires power? Let's get the multimeter out. Yep. So if I set my little power supply up to run 3 volts, because it's two AA batteries. And we get a little clip on there. Yeah, we can. About 3 volts. Hey, it already lights up. Maybe freaking out. It may not be supposed to do that. See kind of like what it's supposed to do there. Just not changing what it's supposed to be doing, though. I'd say we still got too much corrosion still. But at least we can get flashy lights. So, nylon bristle brush. So the bristles just come out. These are nylon, so they're softer and gentler. Try to get some more of that corrosion off, and you can see the conformal coating is just coming off like crazy, which normally it shouldn't do with just the nylon. It should be tough enough to hold up, but it's just where that's all corroded, so hopefully we can eliminate any stuff. I don't want to get the fiberglass pin out to it. Let's clean up any corrosion that we can with this. I'm getting a resistance reading. So I don't think those are connected anymore. They're acting like kind of like a diode. So let's see. Clip back on with power. It's still flashing. I would think it would not come on immediately. Oh, it stopped. Did we just lose power? Maybe this is on and off. It doesn't have any visible instructions. So maybe that turns that on for just a second. That does something else. We still don't have any speaker noise. Not that we can tell anyway. So those are all slower, but I think it's supposed to make little rocket noises. So my worry is, and yeah, that's what I was thinking. Looks like it got corroded up underneath here where those battery sockets were. Aha! It's glue. And yeah, the speaker connections had rotted off. Oh, that's not good. I see them right there. This will allow us to get to that. That's there. So that's why we get no speaker sound. More corrosion back here where that ground wire was hooked to. Fire up the old soldering iron. And we're going to see if we can get these out. So we will try. I'm going to have to do a little editing. I'm going to try to get these pop free and be right back and see if we can get all this out so we can clean on it. Trying to get this thing out. Oh, there we go. Oh, got it. Whew. Now we can proceed to do a little cleaning. See what happens. Looks like we got that all fixed up. To get all this corrosion out. So I'd use some solder wick to suck it up. This is that cheap solder wick I bought that wasn't fluxed. I have to add flux to it. It's a good way to use up my old flux anyway. The one I don't like so much, the old tube I got, so it's been working, but it's not my favorite solder wick. It's not worth buying the cheap stuff. Buy the good stuff for really using. So this was stuck down with a double-sided pad. It says 8 ohm. I got an 8 ohm 12-inch sub that we could probably hook up there. You think that would work? That's funny. Not sure. I can see one of the wires coming off the voice. I can see both of them underneath here and one of them there. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get to that or not. I may have to see if I got another little piezo electric type. Well, not necessarily piezo. That's a regular speaker, but I mean, if I got another little small sized speaker that we could replace it with and stick down with some double-sided tape, as long as it can make its rocket noise or whatever noise it's supposed to. It may make pew 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 sounds. I don't know. I've never had this Lego, so that looks pretty cleaned up. I think we can call that good. We have got all these battery terminals that are in terrible shape, and you notice how I had the nylon bristle pin. Now I'll get the fiber bristle. I got a brass wire one actually for these. Let's do the brass wire one. See, it's brass. Let's see about taking that out and just giving it a scrub down. Trying to get through here and get rid of all that old corrosion. Anywhere it might have been. It's on the back side here too. We just need to work it all out. You can take some of your flux, and that's what I did on this negative terminal a little bit. I just squirted some flux on there and kind of tried to heat it up in there and stuff, and it'll bond kind of with the battery acid from where the battery freaked out, because that flux will just mix with just about any contaminant to help solders go right. Let's straighten that out a little bit. Well, that's what it's supposed to help do, is clean everything. And so it helped clean it up. It actually kind of bonded with it and made it where I could chip it off there a little easier. It wasn't wanting to come off with the pick, but it is now. There's brass bristle. I got a steel bristle one too if I really had to get to it. And we're getting a bunch of nastiness off of it. Let's keep getting some isopropyl rubbing alcohol. You may not be able to hear any of this. This may be all fast forwarded. Depends on the length of the video. I'm just going to put up a short one. I just really don't have much time to be doing this stuff, so anyway, moving. That's eating up all my time. That's why you don't see any videos right now. It's really hard to get anything happening. with so much going on, and my truck's broke, so I got to fix that. So I got with a double whammy. And of course, at the end of this month, there's a project coming up at work, and so hopefully that'll go super duper smooth. It's a kind of a smaller one than what we normally do. So maybe I'll get lucky and won't have to work a exorbitant amount of overtime during that or anything. Maybe I'll get lucky and not have to work any. It'd be really nice. So that black wire was here. That white wire all joins in together. That white wire hooked to this little piece of fiberglass, which had circuit board, which I'm looking at, and you soldered to here and here, and then right there and there is where those speaker leads went, and that is a mess. And so I need to go back to the nylon bristle. I don't know if we're going to be able to use this or not. It's got all kinds of corrosion on this, and it's just ate up those little tiny super thin magnet wire that was on there. And that's why we weren't getting no sound. I don't know if I can connect to it or not. I'll have to inspect it here in a second, but I'm going to stop the corrosion. At least we got a solder point piece here if I can get another speaker thingy maybe. So that's all cleaned up. I'm going to fire up my hot air rework station. I'm going to give this a little bit of flux to do the final clean on it, and then we got to clean out this hole. Black wire was, we may have to replace it where the ground was. Because of the way it's corroded all the way to the back side, it's having issues. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's get this flux going on all this. And we'll be real careful around this chip, because that chip, you know, we can't get to fix anything on. Just want it hot enough to activate the rosin. So we're getting a little smoke from the rosin, and that's good enough. Clean that up considerably. work on that through hole right there. I'm wanting to desolder worth a darn. Not for the life of me. Get those last little bitty wires out. Part of it's because we got some sticky residue right here that I need to get off my hands. They just solder straight to the top of that. That ate that wire away on the bottom, and it's kind of plugged up where that was. I'll be able to run a tiny drill bit through it and clean up the back side of this board. I think corrosion be holding it. Flux off there. It's still sticky. Do a little cleanup here. Be right back. Okay, so we got that out. Got these kind of cleaned up. Toss them in here. Let them soak a bit. I'm not sure if I can reclaim that, but I found an old PC speaker. All I could find elsewise was a piezo little buzzer, and that ain't gonna cut it. It's not an 8-ohm speaker. I may have to order one of those, so there's a chance you won't be seeing this video unless we get this working good enough to with this little speaker that we can call it good, and then I can wait for a better replacement if I need to put it back together, and we'll just call it complete. Should press down on these to remove. It's not wanting to come out of there very well, so screw it. My son has stolen half my tools off of here, so I have no clue where my X-Acto knife is. Let's get an old blade out here. There we go. If there's a little bit of noise, I've got the fan running. It is still super intense summer. So that replaces, oh no, this is going to replace that one wire. I did get that knocked through there. Had to poke real hard at the back. There was so much corrosion. I finally got it knocked out, and I'm hoping this wire fits. Hey, look at there. We can make a negative wire. Awesome. Start that up. Nipper that off a little bit. For now, we'll just strip us back some wire and make sure with the multimeter on ohms that ground is getting everywhere it needs to go. Okay, so that should mean that if we, man, my bench is a mess here already. If this little speaker is any bit close to 8 ohms and doing that, I don't know what PC speakers are. I guess I could look at the spec. I'm just going to tack it. I mean, just tiny tack. We're not even worried about good connection or nothing like that. Just putting it there. And then we're going to get ground. We got our lights here. And the power. I'll feed it 3 volts. Hey, it's making some noise. So let's see. Let me turn off the fan. And so I'd say it makes a louder noise with that speaker. I may be able to salvage it, but it's doing all the things it's supposed to do. 3 different sounds. That's supposed to be the... Oh, that would be the one you kind of hold down to be thruster sound. This one you just do for the... And bam, it works. So if I can salvage this speaker, I'll do that. If not, I'll see about maybe ordering one if they want something better than this. Whoa. Oh, it's because I'm losing connection there. So I'm going to call this a successful repair. We'll see what I can do with that. But you guys don't need to see that. But man, you get something that's corroded up, you know. I'm sure this goes to some neat Lego classic set because it's older. And so, you know, you get in there, you can clean all the corrosion off if you picked up some tools for electronics, no matter what you're fixing and having fun. And you know, clean stuff up. I'm going to, I've got some, it's all dirty here, clear nail polish. I'm going to very carefully dab some around here and just make it to where only you can only get to these buttons. Kind of protect this ground plane a little bit and stuff. Real careful maybe. Make sure I got all the corrosion off that one little bit, but that looks like we're good. Alright, well, not my usual stuff where we've been doing all car amplifiers, but I promised I'd just tinker with everything electronic. I love it. And fixing stuff that's broken and bringing it back is going to be great. These, you know, showed you how to clean these up. We'll stick it back. I'll just be sticking those back in and soldering the wires back on. Kind of the reverse of taking it apart. But, you know, went from not working to getting a little bit working to, you know, figuring out the corrosion ate through that. And now we got it functional enough that if I can't find something perfect or make this one work, then this one at least will work enough that it's functional. So it'll be good. Subscribe, like, comment, and then when I get some more free time, I'll try to edit some of those other videos because I know everybody wants to see some more of those amps. That Scar's already done and back to the owner. Hopefully he's enjoying it. The Rockford, I've got several videos worth of stuff done. I've kind of put it to the side. We're going real deep on it, and even though it's not really worth it financially to go real deep on that amplifier, like if you was wanting to resell it or something, it's worth it for learning. And that's what we're doing here, is we're trying to learn together a little bit, because I don't know everything about them. And Rockford amps are really cool to me because of the way they use the FETs, and they don't drive it exactly the way you would think a Class AB transistor amp is driven. And so I really like learning about how the Rockford stuff, how they do this stuff. And it's very progressive if you start on some of the really older amps, and how the design features keep adding up, and they still use a lot of the stuff they used back then in amps today. So really cool. So alright, like I said, comment, subscribe, hope you learned something, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. So it does everything it's supposed to do. Rock it goes. I don't have to make sound effects anymore. Doesn't that make you all feel better? So, all good. Running on battery power. Thanks for watching.